This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right. You tuned into another episode of the Viewers Anonymous podcast, where we give you our very own reviews of movies and TV straight. I messed that up. This is the Viewers Anonymous podcast, where we give you our very own reviews and takes of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. Before we get to it, make sure you guys go to all of our socials on Instagram and Twitter at ViewAnonPod, on Facebook, VA Pod Watch Group. Make sure you subscribe to us, like, and share on YouTube, and also sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com/Viewers Anonymous. Become a viewer. For the very, very low price of $2.99 a month, you too can join up in the ranks and make something happen. What's going on, bro?
Man, can't call it, man. Just what we were talking about before we started, man. Just been on a lot of content, man, catching up on a lot of stuff. So that's been fun, man, because now it's getting to the point, man. I'm watching so much stuff at one time, which is kind of good to do it that way instead of just, binging like one show, just kind of, what I'm saying, getting one or two episodes of this show, getting one or two episodes of this show. It kind of make the day flow a little easier for me, at least. But other than that, man, just working and trying to stay away from commercials because all this election stuff is just like
commercials.
Man, I'm telling you, but they everywhere. So other than that, though, man, I'm chilling, man. How about you, man?
Man, I too am hiding from the election until it's time to vote. Which, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there, please go vote. But yeah, man, I've been getting text messages from all these people talking about, they from the youngins of the Republicans and the women for Democrats and all this other shit. I'm like, hey, man, how the fuck did you get my number? First off, that's what I want to know. Who gave you my fucking number? Quit texting me with this shit, man. I'm going to vote. God damn. I done typed stop maybe about a good 37 times this weekend, bro. So it's getting crazy. And you know Ohio is a swing state, so we get the worst of the shit, bro. I
Oh
done
yeah.
seen so many fucking Sherrod Brown and Bernie Moreno commercials. I'm sick of both of them motherfuckers. I'm willing to vote for anybody that's not named Sherrod Brown or Bernie Moreno. But outside of that, man, shit, everything good. You know what I'm saying? First free week. I ain't had to go to no soccer games and no soccer practices. So, you know what I'm saying? I've been enjoying my time. And shit, man, just catching up on content, bro. I've been glued to the television this week, man. So we got some good stuff coming up, man. I can't wait.
That we do, man. That we do. So I think we got a pretty good episode coming up today, man. I was very glad to hear and excited to hear that because we spoke about this on a pod before where you said that you haven't really seen like the other Beverly Hill Cop movies.
Right.
And I was like, I'm telling you, dude, I like you watch them. I said, I'm telling you, you're gonna fuck with them. I said, especially the first two. I said the third one, I said, that
Don't
one's
worry
kind of
about that.
yeah, don't worry about that one really.
Yeah.
But but I was like the first two though. I was like the
Yeah.
first two, I said, hey, them bad boys that deal. So before we even get into, what I'm saying, the feature presentations, how did you feel about the first two Beverly Hills Cops? And was I right?
You was 100% right. The third one was absolutely a snooze fest. I will give you that. I did not finish the third one. I think I got probably about a quarter of a way through it and just dozed off. The second one is my favorite. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's my
Yeah, the second one is good, bro. I gotta admit, the second one is real good. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that Bridget Nelson in that
Yes,
movie?
that's Bridget
Okay,
Nelson.
I
That
thought
was she
so.
looked like
I
a
thought so.
person.
Yeah, see the second one, it got some people in there, bro. I'm like, man, they had Hugh Hefner in there. It was all right. I messed with it, man. The first one to me is the funniest, but the second one is the best. The first one
See,
is hilarious, bro. Him and the police captain in Detroit when he was like, I ain't got no ass left because they chewed my ass off. And he walked out and he was like, Captain, you still got a little bit back there. He was like, what? It was like, yes, you You still got a little bit back. He said, "Don't fuck with me, folks." That shit was funny as fuck, bro. That shit
Hey,
was
I
funny as
love
fuck.
Inspector Tide, man. That motherfucker was
Yeah.
the real deal, man. Hey,
Nah,
you know,
he
so
needed to be. He should have been in more of it though. I'm sorry.
yeah,
They needed more of him.
it would have been nice to have a little bit more Inspector Tide in those. But you know, he passed away. Not no, it might have been in the '90s, I think.
Okay.
But man, Taggart, you know, the real life person, what's his name? John Austin, well Ashton. He passed away is back in September, and he
Really?
looked kind of sick in this one. I
Yeah.
mean, you
Yeah.
know, because the way that he was kind of built, it looked like he had lost just like a lot in his face, and I was like, he kind of looked sick.
Right.
And so to hear about his passing, which I don't say that with no disrespect, I wasn't really shocked when I
Right.
saw that because I was like, he looked a little sick in this movie. So man, shout out to Taggart, man. But yeah, man, you said it, you hit the nail on the head, man. I thought the first one was more funnier, but the second one was a better film.
Absolutely.
Um, and like you said, it was a lot more people in the second one. Um, and then the first one kind of give you that element of surprise, and you trying to
Hmm.
like figure out like, all right, who's Axel Foley, what Axel Foley do, and all this type shit. And so then you know him to go out to Beverly Hills and steal shit and all of that, like that, all that shit is cool. And then even in this one, so you know how he would always like, you know, like try to play around like to get free stuff. And so into the he went into the hotel in the Axel F one, and he was about to change up his voice to to try to scam his way into a hotel room. And he was just like, man, he was like, look, I'm too tired. He was just like, do you have any rooms available? And then she was like, it was 900 and something dollars with tax. And he was just like, yo, I love Beverly Hills. But it was just so funny because you seen him scam a house, and that was the second one. And the second one, he seen a house um getting remodeled. He go up to the foreman dudes and be like, hey, you know, there's a whole nother design. He try to act like he's from this inspection company and all of this type shit, and made all the construction dudes leave. And then he got that little signature line where he always say, trust me, y'all y'all already know he on some bullshit. If Axel Foley say trust me, he is on some bullshit. So do not believe him, do not trust him, all that type shit. Now, I'm also glad, and I wanted you to see, was because the whole banana in the tailpipe thing. Because there's been a whole bunch of you know, when it comes to other movies, other sayings and stuff like that, you know, the whole thing of I'm not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe type of thing. So now you actually got to see it, know what that mean now. So that was cool. Cause
Yeah.
I think that was the first one. That was the
Yep.
first one
That was
because
the first
he
one.
got yeah he got Rosewood and Tiger with the
Yep.
banana in the tailpipe. So so yeah it was cool to be able to get that nostalgia back because he did a few things, and that's why I said, you know, watch the first two because then you will get like some of the stuff. And that's the one good thing about having like a franchise is like being able to bring the nostalgia back from the older ones and stuff.
Hmm.
So I thought that was really cool. So I'm glad you was able to see them. But we are on the same page though.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Um, like I said, man, it's so my thing was after watching the first three movies was how are they going to do a buddy cop film in 2024? Because the buddy cop thing was like a late 80s, early 90s kind of cliche type, you know what I'm saying, film to do. And he did a couple of them. He did another 48 hours and he did Beverly Hills Cop. I'm trying to think if he did any other. I don't think he did. I think those are the only two.
Well, no, he did. He did Metro. but that was in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, he did Golden Child too, because technically Golden Child is kind of like a buddy cop movie too.
Yeah, I mean, in a
Not
way,
necessarily buddy
he's
cop,
not
but
a
it's that
cop,
style.
but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I was interested in seeing how they were gonna pull this one off because that's a very tough thing to do, especially now that everything is so modernized and so different, and the way that films are. Like you don't actually have, uh, you know what I'm saying? Like it, a lot of films are coming out and they're a lot more dramatic. In which this one I feel like it was a little bit more dramatic than the previous films. It was still some comedy in there, but the actors that they had in there, man, the cast was crazy. First off, you know what I'm saying, the main cast, you got Eddie Murphy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They bring back Judge Reinhold. They bring back John Ashton. They bring back Paul Reiser. You know what I'm saying? Taylor Page plays his daughter. Kevin Bacon is in this. Like it's a pretty good cast.
Oh yeah,
Um, and so seeing it at first, the first two with them having like the buddy cop thing, but it's not like two cops, it's three cops on this one. So I think that one was a little bit, like that one took it a little bit to the edge as far as the way that the blueprint for buddy cop films are. So now having it to where this one is him and technically Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like his daughter was there a little bit, but she wasn't a cop; she was a lawyer, so that didn't count. And then you know what I'm saying, to go and make him and Joseph Gordon-Levitt the main two pieces of this film, I thought that was very interesting too. But I mean, I think they did a good job. I really don't, I really didn't see anything that I looked at that was like bad. I think they had a lot more time to make it comedy in this one. I thought that one of the funniest scenes is when he's running from the dudes in the apartment. You know what I'm saying? After he sprayed him with the fire hydrant thing
oh
or
yeah,
with the whatever the thing is called. But he, you know what I'm saying, he still the meter maid's buggy, little
yeah,
go-kart thing. And she jump on and spraying him with the pepper spray while he trying to drive and shit. I thought that was hilarious. I thought the scene with him, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Afion Crockett, I thought that shit was hilarious. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? He had a few good moments in this one, man, where you know what I'm saying, like it seemed like a lot of this movie was like the newer Eddie Murphy, but in the comedy moments, you could see where he kind of went back into that original Axel Foley character, and he kind of brought that back out, which kind of made it like feel like it was actually a part of the franchise and not like 20 years down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciated that. His daughter, she did a great job. The chemistry between those two, I thought was interesting. Um,
You know
only
his real daughter is in this movie too.
no, I didn't know that.
So you remember the cops that arrested him after he flipped that buggy thing over?
Yeah, he was talking about that the Lego cops.
Yeah, the Lego cops.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's his daughter
Okay, okay. I didn't know that.
in
That's dope.
in real life.
Yeah, that's dope. So I thought that, you know what I'm saying, with the way that they played this one out was interesting. To bring back Judge Reinhold and John Ashton to play Taggart and Rosewood, I thought that was smart. I would have now I will say this. I would have liked to see him and Rosewood team back up in this one and kind of carry the movie out because I think that would have been the proper thing to do, especially with them, you know what I'm saying, coming back and doing everything else. Them having to go save Rosewood, I think would have been. This is how I see it. They could have actually saved what's Levitt's character, Detective. What was his name?
Detective Abbott, Bobby
Yeah.
Abbott.
So I feel like they could have went and saved Abbott, finding out that that's Jane's boyfriend. Rosewood calls Foley. Foley comes out to Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? And he's technically doing this because he wants to be the good guy. He wants to be the superstar. You know what I'm saying? He can't get away from the action, but him and his daughter end up, you know what I'm saying, coming together because they trying to save Abbott, and he finds out how much he really means to her. Blah 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 blah. I think that could have worked as well too. But so far, everything that I've seen, it wasn't bad. I was like, yeah, this is pretty good.
Okay. Well, for me, like one of my there was a couple of funny moments. But one that made me really like laugh out loud was when so when Axel, this is right after they got Billy and they stole that truck, and
Yeah.
so they're driving down the road in that truck,
Hmm.
and so he calls Jeffrey back at home and was like, "Yo, track Jane's phone because like they kidnapped or whatever." So he was like, "All right, it's at this place or whatever," and he was like, "Axel, be safe." And he was like, "Be safe." He was like, he said, "Rosewood, you safe?" He's like, "Y'all got safe?" And Rosewood was like, "Yeah." And then and then Billy was like, "Nah." He said the minister didn't got a seatbelt. He was like, "No seatbelt." He said, "We're living on the edge." Hey man, I don't know why that shit was so funny to me, but I was like, man, he said we living on the edge. I was like, yo, that dude's stupid. But
Nah,
I thought
what's
that was funny.
absolutely what's interesting though, man, is seeing him actually come back and do comedy style movies because him being older, him not being as um him not being as
Is it
involved
active
in
you looking for?
no involved in
Oh,
comedy movies as he
oh,
was. You know what I'm saying? Like his last few runs of movies have been kind of like in the serious lane, in the drama lane, and then with his return, we've had a few movies where he's done some comedy. What was the one with Lauren London and Jonah Hill?
that was you people.
Yeah, that one, you know what I'm saying? Like he did some comedy in that one. I thought that one was brilliant. His role in that one was funny as hell. Being like the pro black dad and shit, that shit was funny as fuck. I don't never see like Eddie Murphy being that type of dude. And I know he like deep down inside, like he's really like pro black, but like being like militant pro black is funny as fuck to me. Anytime I see somebody being militant pro black in a movie, it's always funny to me because it's always the same dude. Like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? What's up, brother? Nah, I don't want that. Like that type of shit, that's always funny as fuck to me.
Yeah, yeah. He started the movie off that way when he was at the
Yeah,
hockey game, and he
absolutely.
talking to, he said
Absolutely.
he said he said, I wouldn't think that you would like hockey. Like, well, why you think I wouldn't like hockey? He was
Yeah.
like, oh, so you just judged me from here, huh? So he just like, you see my appearance, think I wouldn't like hockey. He was like, I got hockey in my blood. He was like, my great great grandpa played for the what do you say?
For the Winnipeg something.
The Winnipeg Bright
He said,
Skins or something.
they had a Negro League in Canada. He said, I didn't know they had an all black guys league in Canada. That shit was funny as hell. But nah, I find it like just it's interesting seeing him trying to not trying, but actually getting back into what I'm saying, this comedy lane and really getting back to his roots as you know what I'm saying, as everybody has known to, what I'm saying, see him and love him and what I'm saying, grow with him throughout his career. And in a way, seeing some of the movies, it's like, man, it's like he hasn't lost a step, bro. It's like he's that good when it comes to comedy. Like he has not lost a step. I'm talking about from the timing to the jokes to the style of jokes, the content of the jokes. Like everything he's doing, bro, it just hits. And it's like, what can he like at this point? What can Eddie Murphy not do? You know what I'm saying? Like we've literally seen Eddie Murphy do everything from comedy to music to I want to say he could play sports. Like I've seen him play like basketball and shit. Like he's really that dude, bro. Like for him to have been at the peak of his career, well, yeah, I can say that at the peak of his career. You know what I'm saying? Being friends with Prince, being friends with Michael Jackson, being friends with like Mr. T, like all of these celebrities of the past, and then for him to, I want to say take a hiatus, but I don't know if that would be even considered the right thing.
Um, Yeah, because I don't think it's that because it's like okay, so he did this in 2024. He did Candy Cane Lane in 2023. He did You People in 2023.
Right.
He did Coming to America in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
That's a music festival. But yeah, I mean in a way, because Dolomite is my name. That was in 2019.
But that was his like big return though.
It was because that's just Swamp, that's DreamWorks Shrek. So Mr. Church came out 2016, and that
Absolutely.
was a drama.
Yep.
Um and look, that's a short in 2013. Yeah, because
Like
really
2013 was movies, and then he did the TV movie Beverly Hills Cop with I think it was Brandon T. Jackson.
yeah, but really, dude, his last movie was 1,000 words in 2012. So really, it's
Well,
2012 to 2016, and then 2016 to 19 because all this
I
other
mean,
stuff
he
is
had
just
Mr.
like,
Church.
yeah, that was Mr. Church in 2016,
Yeah.
and like I said, he played a serious role in
Right.
that one.
Right.
You see, this stuff like music videos and like he did
Yeah.
voices and little
Yeah.
shorts and stuff like that, but like he really hasn't, you know, for a while. He was down for a minute.
And see, that's what I'm saying. So like, I guess you can say hiatus because like what? That's 3-4 years away, and then like really a little bit more than that from 2012 being his last technical comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like outside
Yep,
of him being the voice of Donkey and Shrek,
yep.
like dude, that's crazy, bro. So for him to come back, so let me see, Shrek the Third was 2007, and then 2010 he had Shrek Forever After. So that was his last time actually doing a big movie with Shrek. And
Hmm.
then he did, like you said, 1,000 words in 2012.
And Tower Heist was a fail for me.
Really? You ain't like that?
I
I
didn't
thought
I didn't
Tower
really
Heist was
like it.
good.
I didn't really like it like that. I didn't really
And
like it like that.
then I thought it was pretty good, man. Like you said, Mr. Church is a serious role. And then from 2012 to 2019, he didn't do a comedy in between. And then to come back out in 2019 with Dolomite is my name. Fire. That was a great movie. And then he went right back into, what I'm saying, comedy, Coming to America, You People. I don't know what Candy Cane Lane is. I'm assuming that's a kids movie. So
Uh,
I ain't really
oh,
counting that.
yeah,
That's like a family movie. And then
yeah,
bringing back Beverly Hills Cop with Netflix. I mean, like that's that's just one of those things. Like what I'm saying. Like we look at a guy like Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes being in an action role. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? We haven't seen Wesley Snipes in an action role in forever, and then what I'm saying, he comes back out. What I'm saying, as Blade or what I'm saying, just one of those roles where he's, what I'm saying, using his martial arts skills. Like it's at that type of level to where when you see him, he doesn't look like he missed a beat. So excuse me, seeing his run from Dolomite is my name to now, like it's like he didn't miss a beat. Dolomite is my name. He was hilarious in that. Um, what was it? You People. He was hilarious in that. Beverly Hills Cop. He's what I'm saying. He's hilarious in this. And it's like now when you're looking at him going, and it's especially going back to see the old Beverly Hills Cops movies.
yeah,
Yeah, like it's you could tell the difference. You could definitely see the difference. You know what I'm saying? Even in watching the movies, the way that the movies are shot, you can see the difference. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And the interesting thing, so You People, he's not the centerpiece. You know what I'm saying? He's a
Right.
co-actor in that.
Right.
It's interesting to see that the two movies that he's done as of late, where he's the main characters, are not remakes, but in a series. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he do Coming to America, the highly anticipated like second movie to that movie, which
Mm-hmm.
what Coming to America came out what 88 or 89.
Yep.
And
89.
so, and then you wait till 2022 or whatever to do that. Then the next time we see you in a main role, it's a movie that you haven't done since '94. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like I think it's interesting
Well,
that
it's interesting. You can still hear me. Okay, yeah. What's interesting is Coming to America, the second one. He wasn't the main character in that though. That was
oh, the dude that
Jermaine
played the
Fowler.
son. I
Yeah, that
mean,
was Jermaine
yeah,
Fowler.
yeah, but it's an Eddie Murphy Productions. You know what I'm saying? Is you know what I'm saying something that's technically his.
Right.
So it's just that goes to my. So I did a pod, um, what I'm saying, History of Horror Part 3 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about how people are not, I wouldn't call it afraid, but it's just people are putting money behind old ideas. And it's
Yeah.
like where
Yeah.
that's why we're getting a lot of these remakes or adding to a series and stuff like that because they're like, look, it worked before. People are, I don't want to say people are stupid, but people are just kind of just used to what they're used to. So it's
I
like
think it's the nostalgia of it all, right? Like, especially with Beverly Hills Cop. You know what I'm saying? Coming to America too. Um, just the familiarity of it, just the nostalgia of it all. I think the crowd that they aim for is that '90s crowd. You know what I'm saying? That crowd that's used to going to the movie theater, the crowd that's used to seeing the big blockbuster movies. You know what I'm saying? From or even then, going to rent movies at Blockbuster or Family Video. You know what I mean? Like even or going and buying movies from Walmart or Best Buy or those places. You know what I'm saying? Where physical copy stuff was a big thing then. I think it's a little bit tougher now to create stories or create new stories and get them out there and get the same, get the same reaction or get the same appreciation for these newer films than it was to get those. Because then, like, that was the thing. Like, everybody, especially around our age, can remember going to the movie theater, you know what I'm saying? Getting the popcorn, um, going to watch a movie with your parents. And then as you got older, you and your friends would go watch movies or taking somebody on a date or going on dates to the movies, those type of things. I think now, because of the access to everything, because like now we don't have to go to the movie. We could just wait for it to come straight to the TV and then we'll just watch it at home. When you have something like, for instance, you know, I'm about to get in my nerd bag, but when you have something like a Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? Star Wars first came out in what, 76, 77, around that time.
okay,
They had three movies in that run. Next thing you know, early 2000s, boom, they got another three movies, which is supposed to be the beginning of what we saw. And then what, another 20 years later, they come out with another three movies that's supposed to be the end of what we saw. So we get a whole saga over a span of 40, 50 years of this genre, or not this genre, but this franchise that every time it comes out has not failed, no matter what it does, whether it's a TV show, whether it's a game, whether it's a cartoon, whether it's a toy, merchandise, um, just any of that, it never fails. So, like, to put that out, they know it's going to be a hit. They know whatever they do with Star Wars, because of the fan base, it's going to be a hit. And I feel like with a lot of these production houses, they're looking at that and they're saying, well, we know that if we make this, it's going to do something.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get the it's gonna get the love that we're looking for, especially in the sales, especially in the, you know what I'm saying, as far as monetization, all that stuff. We know that if we put this out, it's gonna make money. We
yeah.
don't know if we put this out if it's gonna make money or not. And if you look at the last few new projects, like what have we seen recently that was of, you know what I'm saying, that was new, where we was like, oh man, this was amazing. It hasn't been much.
Yeah. And I mentioned in that podcast, one of the movies that is a new, fresh idea, but people still give him a hard time is Nope. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I feel like what Jordan Peele is doing
Mm-hmm.
is something out of it's not ordinary, it's out of the box. He's taking chances and shit like that. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
like that monkey, was it Monkey Boy or Monkey Man? I ain't
Yeah.
really, deal with that one. But anyway, I'm glad that they came back with this one for the simple fact of the third one just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
just like because the first two were so good, and then you try to recycle this again, and it was a bad script. Like just everything about that movie was just bad.
Yeah.
And also, I think that whatever is going on with Teresa Randall,
Mm-hmm.
like this is two opportunities, bro.
Well,
That she
they
done
said
missed
she's
out
sick.
on. That's the thing. What I'm hearing is more of like a either a drug or alcohol addiction type of thing. Is what I'm hearing.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but this is two movies where she's in the franchise and she missed out.
Right.
Remember, Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, she's supposed to have been in that. I know you didn't finish the third one, but as you can see, who the love interest is in this movie, in
Mm-hmm.
the third one was Teresa Randall.
I'm kind of glad they didn't add the mom in this one though.
Really? I
Absolutely.
mean, we didn't need her. We didn't need
Yeah,
her,
that's
but
what I'm
I'm
saying. There was no point in her really being in the movie, like out, because like even if you was to do like maybe a small scene where him and her go back and forth and they bicker real quick, it's not really necessary because you already had that between Jane and Abbott.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being supposedly having been in some type of relationship before, you see them going back and forth and, you know what I'm saying, dealing with whatever they had to deal with. And then to have that in there too, I think it's kind of like overkill.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I just think that it's something's going on with her,
Well, yes, yeah.
and
Hopefully that can be something that she can overcome if it is alcohol or drugs. And if it's not alcohol and drugs and she actually is sick, then hopefully she gets better soon. But I mean, okay, hot take, man. I don't even know if
okay,
it's hot take. Unpopular opinion.
okay.
I'm not a big fan of Teresa Randall.
I mean, the only thing that I can even so for me, all right. So she's in the Bad Boys joints.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's in that. The
Was
only other
was
movie
she the
that
mom of John Q
no. At least I don't think she was. But I know she was in Deep Cover.
with LL Cool J?
No. Deep Cover. That was with Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne. Okay.
But like, oh, she was in oh man, one of the ones Denzel was in. Is it Devil in the Blue Dress?
I
Or was
think
it the
so.
other one? But like, other than that, I mean, I don't.
I mean, it's
It,
whatever. It's like she doesn't do anything that stands out. Like she doesn't have
yeah,
any standout
yeah. See, I've
roles.
never
Like
seen her as the main like attraction to a movie. Like she's
that's what
always been like this
exactly.
side person.
Like she to me, right? Like I wouldn't even put her in that. I was about to say Loretta Devine, but I wouldn't even put her in
Oh
that lane because
no,
even Loretta Devine got times when she's still the show.
yeah,
Teresa Randall just
she's
never
never sold it.
yeah, like she's never in the like she's never had the spotlight in anything I've seen her in. And then like even when you see her in movies, she's only in them for what, maybe 20 minutes at best.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
never.
so it's like nah, I don't know, man. It's just she's never been somebody where I seen her and was like, oh man, Teresa Randall in this. All right, yeah, let me check this out. It's never been that. It's never been that for me. So I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think her being in this would have did anything for the movie.
I mean, yeah, facts, dude. Like everything you said is fact. I was just saying that just the fact of like, I just wonder if she didn't have whatever was going on with her, would they would have
Would
found
she
a
be?
place
Well,
for her.
I think so. I think
But man,
I think she would have been in Bad Boys and
well, of course, Bad Boys, but
yeah,
this one, I mean, Jane, she's 32, so it's
mm-hmm,
like kind of don't really need the mom, but
exactly.
but it could have been, if I think that if she would have been fine, there probably would have been like at least like a phone call to her
Mm-hmm.
mom of like, look, dad's back in town, you know what I mean? All that little type shit. But but I I'm not mad at them bringing this movie back because to leave with three and leave
Mm-hmm.
this bad taste in your mouth for 20 years of such a badass movie. It's like to come back with this because I'm telling you, I didn't have because of what's been going on. I didn't have like the highest expectations for this movie. It
Okay.
was like I knew it was something that I was going to watch for the simple fact of how much I love the first two, and then it's Eddie Murphy. He's getting back out. I don't know what the reason is. Maybe he just got that itch and was like, "Look, man, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna bring it," type of thing. But I think it's good not to leave the audience with such a bad movie. Now, I mean, I know it's been 20 years, but to be able to bring a movie back and then you bring back the main people because you know what I'm saying, and they did it in perfect timing for Taggart to to pass away in real life.
Right.
To be able to bring him back and Rosewood and all this type shit and bring the nostalgia back and the same stuff, same old Billy, he like the big knives, the big guns, and all the type
Mm-hmm.
shit. Taggart, tired as hell, never like to be in the action. He,
I don't blame
him,
him.
his whole shit with his wife, because they
Yeah.
always breaking up and getting back together and all
Right.
this type shit. And then to see that shit is still going on to this day.
He crazy.
But then we finally saw her. So it's always been just he just been talking about her. And
Yeah.
now in this one they actually show her, what I'm saying, bitching when he was in there working out. And it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I see why you went back to work and you a chief now.
Absolutely.
But so
Absolutely.
we got to get to this. So Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on with Kevin Bacon, but the last like 2 to 3 movies, he's been a bad guy.
I
Like
love it.
I look, I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not
Yeah,
mad
I
at it
love
at
it.
all, but I find it interesting that he's starting to play these villain type of characters because so it what have you seen Maxine yet?
Yes.
So he was, you know what I'm saying? He was a bad guy in that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bad guy. Axel F. Um, Leave the World Behind. I don't really think he was a bad guy because if I remember, he was the one. It, Damn, hold on.
No,
He
remember
was the one
he
guy.
was the one that was prepared, and they had to
Yeah,
go
but
to
he
him to
wouldn't
get
let
the
them get
medicine.
he wouldn't let them get the medicine without some kind of trade off or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely, which was understandable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. And see, you didn't watch City on the Hill. Now,
No.
City on the Hill was a Showtime show that he
Yeah.
did with Aldous Hodge. Now, he was a I wouldn't call him necessarily a dirty cop. I can tell you exactly who he is. He's Idris Alba in Luther, where
Okay.
it's like he would
Do what's necessary.
he do what's necessary, even though it's a little it's
Yeah.
against the law.
Yeah.
But so he's like, this is the only way I can kind of solve this case.
Right.
Like
But
I
it's
kind of
always for the right reason, though.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's what he was in City on the Hill.
Okay.
So it's interesting seeing him playing like these roles where he's like kind of like the bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm not mad at it, but I feel like Kevin Bacon has always been kind of a, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like when you look at his career, I feel like he's always kind of been the good guy in
Yeah.
a way.
Yeah.
And it's good to see him like later in age playing these characters where, you know what I'm saying, where he's the bad guy. So in this one, which now I'm not mad at some of the points that he had in this
Mm-hmm.
movie. Where he's like, when he showed him his leg, like, I got shot in the leg. What I get for it?
You
He
got a
was like,
fucking
I give my
pat on the
life for
back
this
with a
job.
ribbon.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, pat on the back of the ribbon. And he was
Yeah.
like, so, why not, mess around with the cartel and, you know what I'm saying, have $1,000 shoes and the Rolex and all this
Mm-hmm.
type of shit. He was like, I done gave so much to this job. Why don't I get nothing in return? So, I mean, it wasn't it wasn't crazy, but the only part was it's kind of fucked up that you just gonna pin a cop murder on a fucking, you know what I'm saying, a person of Mexican descent.
Yeah.
You know, like that was kind of dirty,
I
but
mean, you do what you got to do sometimes, man.
yeah, to protect your own,
Yeah.
you know.
You know what I'm saying?
But
If they know that, what I'm saying, that could be used as a move, hell, why not? You know what I'm saying? Set them up. Let them go down. At the end of the day, shit, did the money go through is what the issue is.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
that's what it is.
I think, I mean, I honestly like the fact that we're starting to see some of these older actors that are coming back in the film and getting these roles and finally, getting back into the spotlight and getting the shine. I like to see them playing something that we don't get to see them play. When John Clive Van Damme played the bad guy in the what was that? The Replaceables? What is that movie called? The Expendables.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Him playing the bad guy is like that blows your fucking mind because forever he's always been the protagonist in every film that he's been in. He's never played the antagonist in the film. So him playing the antagonist in the film in this one, especially with the cast that they had, I thought that was just something that was like, okay, I like that. I like something, you know what I'm saying? It's fresh, it's new. You don't really see him doing this often to get the chance to actually see him doing it now is perfect. Like this is what we want to see. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Bacon being the bad guy. That's what I want to see. Um, just any of those guys, and especially from that time of like the '90s, just getting a chance to go out and just be something that for the longest time we've always looked at them as like the beacon of hope and the what I'm saying, the guy that we know when we go to this movie is gonna be great. Like the next one I want to see is Keanu Reeves. I want to see him be a bad guy. That is gonna be amazing.
Oh,
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
interesting.
That's gonna be amazing.
Well, okay, nah, because he's really kind of in a way a hero in Constantine in a way, and because
No, John Constantine is for sure the hero.
yeah, because it's supposed to be a John Constantine 2 supposed to be
I
coming
can't
out
wait.
soon.
I can't
Me
wait.
and you both, man. I've been looking for, and that's another one. That's why I say it's certain movies where I don't mind if they keep the shit going,
Yeah,
because like Constantine is one of those movies where it's like, yo, the first one was amazing. I still feel like it's a little under the radar. I think it's. I feel like the movie could get a little bit more shine, but
absolutely.
I'm not mad at that, and I'm
Well,
all.
I'm a tad bit nervous, and the only reason I say that is because I wonder if it's going to be a part of the DCU, and if it's a part of the DCU, then I don't know what to expect.
I kind of hope that they keep it separate.
I do too, but I got a feeling that that's not going to be the case.
I think that if they want to recuperate some of this money they've been losing on some of these misses, they
Hmm.
better let Constantine, you know what I'm saying, sit in his own
Absolutely.
lane and kind of, you know what I'm saying, do what it does. Because now I don't remember how successful Constantine was,
Right.
but I think Constantine was just is one of those movies where it's like an underground, you know what I'm saying, classic.
Hmm.
And
I agree. I agree.
so yeah, I do hope they keep it separate, um, but yeah, I wouldn't be mad at seeing Keanu Reeves play a bad guy.
Yeah, I think he
That
can
would be
get
kind
that
of
off.
dope.
I think he can definitely get that off. But man, Kevin Bacon in this is I feel like it's necessary because you need somebody who not only was alive at that time, but understood what it meant to play, what I'm saying, this type of role in this type of movie.
Now, you want to hear
Because
something crazy?
what's up?
So the first Beverly Hills Cop
Hmm.
came out in 1984, right? You want to know what movie he did the same year, Kevin Bacon?
Wait, 1984, 1984. Sheesh. Was it a horror film or a thriller?
Nope.
Then it had to be not Dirty Dancing. What's that shit called, man?
Yo,
Footloose.
my guy. Yo, we do this shit, man.
It was
You
it
know what I'm saying?
Footloose.
Yes, it's footloose. Yo, we do this shit, man. We do this shit.
I'm sitting here because I'm thinking, I'm trying to think like Kevin Bacon in the '80s. I'm like, man, the only thing I could think of was fucking Thriller or fucking Footloose.
Fucking footloose. Yep. So
So
when
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and then like you got to remember, like Kevin Bacon had a nice run too, though. You know
oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like when Tremors came out, he was the man when Tremors came out. Um, then he had another resurgence with what was it, Invisible Man?
a hollow man.
Hollow Man, man, you know what I'm saying? He was right back in it. So for him to be in this, um, and I think this is another thing too. I think that these movies, for me at least, are trying to catch that same kind of feeling that those old movies did, because this is a Netflix movie. This isn't like
Mhm.
a this isn't like a movie that came out and ended up on Netflix. Like this is a Netflix platform movie. And so knowing that, I think they're trying to get that core audience of, you know, the 80s, the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like around those people. I think they're trying to bring that core audience in with some of the stuff that they're putting together and some of the stuff that they're doing. Because if you look at a lot of the stuff that really hit, Stranger Things is a movie that's based in what, the 70s, 80s, you know what I'm saying?
80s.
And then kind of moving on into the 90s. And then you get what was the one, Fear Street, you know what I'm saying, with R.L.
Yep.
Stein. That one was one of those same things. Um I'm trying to think, what else did they do? What else did they do? I mean, Black Mirror to me is kind of like the advanced version of the Twilight Zone. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
just taking those motifs of, you know what I'm saying, those famous, you know what I'm saying, big productions and very successful TV shows and movies, and then just moving them into newer, I guess, like a newer body. You know what I'm saying? Like even like with this, the Axel F. You can do stuff with, have the new music in there, but then like right when the action go, you hear the dun 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 dun
Yep.
dun dun, dun, and it's like, oh shit, it's on and popping. We know what's about to happen now because we so used to hearing it from the older movies, and we know what the older movies, what he did in the older movies. So like that, I think they really are trying to grasp the concept of getting those people in and bringing them into, you know what I'm saying, getting into these Netflix movies and stuff like that, because it's tough. It's tough. I mean, it's you got so many streaming apps, you got so many options to, you know what I'm saying, choose from, and it's like everywhere you look, man, something new is coming out, something new is happening. And if you think about it, when was the last time we saw a good buddy cop film?
I mean, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, but don't forget, like, not only do they give you the theme music back, but you also get, you know what I'm saying, the shell toe Adidas, the
Yep,
blue jeans, and the Detroit jacket. You know
yep,
what I'm
and
saying?
the
And
varsity
he,
jacket. Yep,
yep, and he's still driving a Nova. So it's
absolutely.
like, so it's giving you everything. And you know what I think it is? I think that like that was a really good golden time of cinema. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like I think, what they're trying to do is like you said, you make a great point with that. Netflix is like, all right, what's a way to get people to stay on this app?
Mm-hmm.
What is another way to get people? All right, so we got Eddie Murphy over here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm guessing because he did you people Netflix. Maybe he got a
Yep.
Netflix deal.
Oh,
Now
that'd be
maybe,
dope.
maybe not, because the only thing is because what's the name came out on Prime. Um,
Coming to
uh,
America.
Coming to America.
But that was a
So
one. That was a one
that
off
might have
though.
been a bid. That might have been a bidding war though.
No, that was a one. That was a strict one off.
Oh,
I
okay,
remember.
okay.
I remember when that was in the works. Everybody was talking about it because, it was rumors that it was coming out, and they was talking about how, everybody was saying how They don't know if it's gonna be funny as the first one, and people were kind of nervous on watching it. And I think at the time, that's when excuse my washing machine. But at the time, Amazon was getting like some good stuff. Like Michael B. Jordan was doing the
Yep.
the
Without
joint.
remorse and
Yeah, I want to say Ryan Reynolds did a movie with them. No, not Ryan Reynolds.
no,
What's his name, man?
the dude played Jack Ryan. Um, you said you always see him as the guy on not the Office, but
Yeah,
the other one.
Jim Halpert. He played Jack
So,
Ryan. Then we got Reacher. You know what I'm saying?
dude, man, hey boy, they got the movie about to come out, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Listen, did you see it? They about to do a Jack Ryan movie with him.
no,
Yeah, so they
no.
about
I've
to do
I've
it.
seen it. I'm saying no.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold.
I seen the trailer. But no. Come on, man. It's
I'm
Jim
telling you,
Halpert.
dude, man. Listen, I'm telling you, you will forget. You will forget. I'm telling you.
I don't know, man. I'm
He,
gonna give it a shot. I am gonna give it a shot. I can't say I won't.
but
I'm gonna
it's
give it a shot.
Tom Clancy. You know what I'm saying? He got his
Hmm.
run going on
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. Tom
But
Clancy always doing something nice. He need to get his. Well, I don't know if he even alive, but whoever running that operation, they need to get back into the video games. We need another Ghost Recon ASAP.
I feel you. I
Yeah,
feel you. But
definitely.
so I don't know, but I don't know if he got a Netflix deal or not. I don't know if
Hmm.
he went to the highest bidder. I don't really know what's really going on. Why he's done well? No, because if you look at it this way, so that Candy Cane Lane joint came out on Prime.
That was Prime. Yeah,
So the last two things he's done, well, the last four things he's done, two
have been
Prime,
streaming
two
services.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
what I've heard, and this is just rumors right now. And it's been going on for a while, but he's supposedly supposed to be doing a special, a stand-up special, and um, there was rumors about him going around and doing sets at some clubs and stuff. So I don't know if it's a possibility that with this Netflix thing, that's why he's doing what he's doing with Netflix, because that's something that maybe within the next 2 years we'll end up seeing. Especially with what Netflix has been doing with like the live showings of everything.
mhm.
I know they getting prepared for they got
Mike
wrestling.
Tyson,
Yep, they got the Tyson and Paul
Paul.
fight. They got wrestling coming next year, so WWE is going to be on Netflix, and then they also have, from what I've heard, I don't know if it's legit or not yet, but the NFL is supposed to be coming to Netflix as well. So I don't know how that's going to play out. Maybe it's going to be something to where they end up like Hulu and get like some live TV service or something. But I think it's
Well,
going we're gonna see a major change here soon with Netflix, and I think he's getting prepared to, because remember Rogan did a special and that was live, and Cat Williams did a special and that was live, and then they did the live version of the roast with Tom Brady. So they doing a bunch of different innovations with Netflix right now. I think Eddie Murphy live is might be the next thing.
would you rather live off of two of the greatest specials to ever come out,
Hmm.
live off that legacy, or would you rather take a chance to? Because the thing is, he already at GOAT status.
Right.
So I think at this point, do you think it's a higher percentage to hurt that or to help
You
that?
I don't think his status is ever gonna be hurt, right? I don't think that's gonna hurt him. I think what'll more than likely end up happening is the people from the Raw in the Delirious era, those people who've seen that and enjoyed that and embraced that for what it is, those people are gonna love it. If he can come out and do something special in his special, no pun intended. Um, but as far as his status, I don't think you can hurt that. I mean, to know Eddie Murphy, right? And this is my lane for sure. Like this, this is my thing. To know Eddie Murphy, that's why I mentioned for him to have been at the peak of his career and then to take that hiatus and come back and still it be successful is is very amazing because you got to remember, like, this was a dude that was hanging out with Madonna. He was hanging out with Michael Jackson and Prince and Quincy Jones and all of the movie stars. Like, this dude was a guy that was on Saturday Night Live, went and did a movie, it got successful. Then at the time where nobody was doing this, had two movies where it was an all black cast. You know what I'm saying? Where it was an all black cast and it was a successful all black cast, star studded all black cast with Coming to America and with Harlem Nights. And then, excuse me, and then to continue that success on to from Raw and Delirious to Harlem Nights to Coming to America, and then he did The Golden Child, and he was still the guy. And then to come back and then do the Clumps and the Nutty Professor, the remake of the Nutty Professor, and that goes up. I mean, like, he's established no matter what. Like, people still talk about Norbit to this day. I don't think Norbit is that funny. I've never been that much of a fan of the Norbit movie, but people love that movie.
Mhm.
People think that movie is hilarious. I mean, look what he did with Life with him and Martin Lawrence. Like, he has he has the resume that nobody can touch. You can't take that away from him. Him coming into a special and then redoing it now, I think that the newer generation will probably look at it like, who is this old ass nigga on stage trying to tell these fucking jokes? But you also got to remember too that this newer generation didn't grow up with Def Comedy Jam. They didn't grow up with the comic views. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't grow up with shows designed specifically around comedy. And they didn't really grow up with, you know what I'm saying, the stand-ups. Because remember, Comedy Central was a big channel back in the day. And they were coming with 30-minute stand-ups, hour-long stand-ups. And that was featured specifically for that channel. You know, HBO used to do it. Showtime has done a couple of them. I think Cinemax did a couple. Now Netflix has gotten to the ring. So it's like, when it comes to that, I think it's going to be one of those things that the newer generation might not appreciate as much, but the older generation is definitely going to support this one for sure. Look at what Cat Williams did. You know what I'm saying?
But
Cat Williams went crazy when he did his special.
this is true. But the difference is when you look at Delirious and when you
Mm-hmm.
look at Raw, the
Mm-hmm.
material, 90% of that material is considered, you know what I'm saying? Like it's pushing the
Oh yeah,
line
no, it can't.
nowadays.
I don't think, but this is what I'm saying. I think that he's such a comedic great that he doesn't have to even go to that, right? Like Chris Rock. Look at what Chris Rock has done with, the specials that he's had on Netflix. Tambourine, you know what I'm saying, and going and revisiting Tambourine and doing all those things that he's had. He was successful with that. And we know what Chris Rock used to do. Chris Rock got the most famous, probably one of the most famous jokes ever with, you know what I'm saying, the difference between niggas and black people. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can, if you're a fan of comedy, you know that these guys can bring it no matter what they do. Shit, Dave Chappelle. Look at what Dave Chappelle has been doing with Netflix. He's been killing it as far as specials go.
Well, it depends on who you ask. Because some people will say, "Oh man, he's won't get off of this transgender thing, and
Absolutely,
he
yeah,
keep
yeah,
doubling down on this, and
yeah.
why won't he leave them alone?" And because like a lot of people feel like then Dave is more conversational type of comedy. It's like it's not
Right.
even really comedy, really. It's just him telling stories and the shit just being funny.
No, it's
So
definitely comedy for sure. It's comedy. It's a different style of comedy, but it's 100% comedy. I mean, but shit, if you say that about Dave, Cat Williams is the same way. It's observational comedy. Chris Rock is the same way. It's observational comedy. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff that they're observing, they're coming back and they putting it into jokes and they telling you about the jokes. If you if you can listen to those specials that Dave Chappelle put out and get away from just the offense part of it, right? And you actually listen to what he's saying in those jokes, he's really saying some shit that is real important. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah,
It's kind of super fucking important. Um, but I feel like Eddie Murphy, man, for who he is and what he's done, I think it'll be a fucking sweep under the rug for him, man. It'll be a sweep under the rug for him with the
yeah.
ease.
Yeah, I'm not saying like either or. Like, I mean, this is a podcast. This is a conversation thing,
Right.
and it's just like the reputation that he has just off of really like two
Two
specials.
specials. Yep.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And those two specials, well, with Saturday Night Live and these two specials gave us the Eddie Murphy that we know today.
But
You know what I'm saying?
he's always been controversial as far as stand up goes. Like shit, when in Saturday Night Live, remember he was getting the people was beefing with him about Stevie Wonder. Remember he had the
Yeah,
joke where
Stevie
he was
Wonder
like,
did.
"Hey man, you don't never talk about Stevie Wonder like that, man. Next time you talk about Stevie Wonder like that, I'll whoop your ass, man. You know what I'm saying? You should be ashamed of yourself. Stevie Wonder is a musical genius. Like nigga, that's a like everybody knows that's what he does. Like he does comedy. Well, at the time he did comedy that was kind of a little bit raunchy, but it was funny. And I mean, even then, he had some beef with the gays. Then remember, he did the gay joke with the dude on back of the
I mean, this is true, but
the dude on back of the car going, "Woo!" That shit, like he was beefing in. Remember, Mr. T had beef with the nigga. He called Mr. T gay. He said,
hey, well, you stupid.
"I'm fucking weak, bro." But I'm just saying, like, just you know what I'm saying. Like, even then, that was just a small part of you know what I'm saying those like those stand up specials. Like to me, when you when you talk to anybody who has seen those specials, the stuff that they talk about the most isn't the stuff where he was talking about the Mr. T joke or the gay dude on the back of the fucking uh on the back of the car. It was the kid joke where you know what I'm saying he wanted McDonald's and you know what I'm saying his mom be like, "You got McDonald's at home," or you know what I'm saying when they was outside with the ice cream truck and he told the one little kid, "You can't get no ice cream, y'all on no welfare," like shit like that. Like those are the jokes that always stand out and they have stuck throughout time. So I feel like he can definitely go out and redo those, you know what I'm saying? Like he can well not redo those jokes, but he can definitely go out and get back in that lane. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's just straight jokes, strictly funny. Um and I mean you gotta imagine being away for what 40 years from you know what I'm saying from the stage like that. Like
Yeah,
imagine all the shit he could talk about. It hey man, he could kill some shit.
I mean, he could, and I also think it's interesting that Martin Lawrence is coming back with a special, and he's kind of been away from the stage, so it's
No,
interesting.
he's been on tour for like the last 2 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
because it was around the time the Bad Boys movie,
Yep. Yep.
and he was saying that he was back on tour, so it was
Hmm.
just interesting to see him back on. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna probably maybe pick one of those ones and be like, all right, this is the one I'm gonna put out for a special or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
that's gonna
very
be.
interesting. That's gonna be very very interesting to see him uh get out on stage with everything that's happened and in the condition that he's kind of in now. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, very, very. But but that's yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like, that's just one of those things where it's like, because that's just like with Coming to America too. Like, coming, the regular Coming to America was just a cult classic. just
Mm-hmm.
hands down funny. And it's like, all right, we're gonna take this movie and we're gonna make a sequel. And
Right.
it didn't get the best reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And not doing stand up comedy for over 40 years and with the climate change, I think that's really the biggest thing is just the fact of the climate change. And now people our age and older, they're going to be like, yo, funny's funny. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, we don't care.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's some gay jokes in there or whether it's, whatever the case may be, whatever people's not, there's certain words that they don't want you to use anymore because certain
Mm-hmm.
words got different meanings and all of this type stuff. So, now there are still people who are doing that type of comedy. I mean, Andrew's blowing up right now because of that type of comedy.
Absolutely.
So it's
Absolutely.
not that it can't be done anymore. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, you know, having the reputation that you have with two specials. It's like, do you know what I'm saying? I don't think he could dim the light because I think even if it comes out and it's not greatly received, it's like, okay, he's like fucking 60 something years old. It's like, you know what I mean?
Well, that really ain't no excuse either, man. Because Red Fox did this shit at 70. So you know what I'm
You
saying?
know
Like,
what? No, I don't know, dude. Did you know? It's like it's funny because I be following like this thing and it be showing
mhm.
like all of these people and they was like, "Yo, this what 40-year-old and 30-year-old people used to look like."
Oh
Dude,
yeah,
he
nigga.
was only 49 on Stanford or something.
Nigga, you know how stressful it was to be a black man back then, bro. That's like when people be saying shit like, and they used to show like Clyde Drexler, and I'd be like, yeah, nigga, he had to deal with all kind of racism and all kind of shit. Michael Jordan didn't go bald because it was cool. He went bald because of stress, fucking all
Hey,
kind of shit that he had to deal with. Like, I mean, look at fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, bro. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was what 40 when he quit the league. That nigga looked 60. That nigga had the Carl Winslow. You know what I'm saying? Like that nigga look crazy. Playing basketball with the Carl Winslow is nuts, and goggles is crazy. That nigga looked wild. You know what I'm saying? Shit, Walt Frazier looked crazy as fuck, bro. The fucking man, remember this, bro.
Ah.
It was I want to say like Soul Train or some shit like that. And Eddie Levert and whatever the group they was in, them niggas was
uh,
singing.
OJ's, the OJ's.
The OJ's right. Them niggas was singing, bro, on Soul Train when they was hot, and them niggas looked old as fuck then.
Hey man, that's everybody, man. They showed the Golden Girls, man. I think the youngest Golden Girl, bro, was like 38. It's
That's what
like
I'm
what?
saying, bro.
It's like, yo,
It was
bro, I
rough
thought
times
everybody
back
on that
then,
show
bro.
was in their 50s,
Rough
but
times back then, bro. You know what I'm saying? Rough times,
dude,
especially
the
for
only person,
black people. It was real rough.
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I mean, look, man, before we get out of here, no, I thought as far as the movie, I thought they did a good spin on the movie,
Hmm.
to to give him a daughter and for her and him to be beefing because he chose the job over her, but he tried to explain to her that, yo, look, there was this, Detroit Mafia or whatever the name was
Yeah,
coming after me. I had to get you and your mom out of the city, which was wild to think that this woman works in Beverly Hills at Wonder World and she moves to Detroit. Like,
crazy.
who's who's going from California to Detroit? I don't know. But
That's crazy.
but but then they broke up and so I thought it was cool to do that, to bring a daughter into it and that the daughter be the one to get him back to Beverly Hills, but
Hmm.
he chose the job really over her for the most part, and she felt the way about it, he felt the way about it. He was the which I when you think of older black men, they are very stubborn. So
Yes,
he was the stubborn dad
yes.
who, you know what I'm saying, was kind of looking for her to make a move, and he was like, "Well, she ain't making no move, so I'm not making no move." So they just, what I'm saying,
Yeah,
just
because
kind of
old
left
black men don't got time for that shit. They don't got time for none of that shit. Shit. Life is stressful, man. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
but
He gotta be out there. He patrolling the streets, trying to keep Detroit safe, which is a fucking job in itself. Trying to
yeah.
keep Detroit. Detroit was so goddamn bad. Them niggas had to create RoboCop. Nigga, that's another level of fucking. That's
RoboCop
a
was in Detroit.
yeah. That's a whole level of fucking protection, bro. Where you gotta
Oh
create a
man.
fucking android man to protect the fucking streets. Yeah,
Oh
nah, bro. Detroit is dangerous for sure.
God damn. Hey
Yeah,
boy, you
bro.
stupid.
Think about that, nigga. They had to make RoboCop, bro. Come on, man. That's
Yo,
what they
that is
need to do.
hilarious.
You want to make a remake RoboCop. That'd be fire. You know what I'm saying? That would be everything that people be looking for nowadays. That's the thing I don't like. They ain't making the right remakes. You
Well,
know what
they
I'm saying?
redid the RoboCop. He had the black suit. I didn't watch it, but
When was this?
yeah, man, this was like mid 2010 ish,
Are
like
you
somewhere in
fucking
that
serious?
era.
Well, no,
Yeah,
2010
man.
was a trash time for remakes. No, that's not the
Hold on,
same
wait
thing.
a minute. Yeah,
Fast and
they
Furious was
did
popping in. That don't count.
they they did do the hold on, my fucking shit acting up.
They
All
done
right.
remade Murphy, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay,
Or maybe I
RoboCop.
did. I probably watched that shit too. Don't even realize I
What
watched
the, what the hell is it? Why is it not showing up? Did
it.
they
Oh
name it
shit.
something else?
Yo, you right. 2014. Oh
Okay,
no, I did
well,
watch this.
why is it not showing up?
This shit is on Max. I'm gonna watch this shit tonight because I don't. I remember
Yeah,
it, but
cause
vaguely.
he got the black suit.
You right. He do. Damn, we got Gary Oldman in it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah,
Michael
yeah, yeah.
Keaton. Oh man, Michael K. Williams is in this.
And then they say in Detroit in 2028, so they try to do it futuristic.
Hey, let me tell you something. They was wrong about that time. When was hold on, wait, when was the time of the older one?
Let me see. So the first one came out. No, that's
87.
19.
See, this one don't even tell you. This saying the dystopic and crime rate in Detroit. So I ain't even no telling what year this was. They probably thought this was 2001.
Wait a minute. Detroit, Michigan, 2043 have
Oh,
declared war
2040.
against.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yo, wait a minute. So I never knew they did that.
Are you for real? You didn't know it was the future. You ain't know it was in the future.
Hey, yo, boy, that's hilarious. But I
You didn't
might
know
go back
that.
and watch that shit now just to be like, oh, let me see what y'all thought in 1987,
2043 would look like.
2023 was gonna look like.
Hey, bro. You know what? It's a few movies like that too. It's a few movies that have like where they show like what they thought 2001 was gonna look like, and that shit didn't look
Oh man.
nothing like 2001.
No, but the funny thing is, like, there's a graph, dude, that you can find like the years of like uh where they was like this movie was based in this time and all this
Yeah,
type of shit, and it's like now we're closer to a lot of those times and stuff.
yeah, and them
And it's like,
shits
yo,
don't ain't
it's
nothing like. Bro,
nothing.
sci-fi movies. It was a lot of sci-fi movies in the '90s that was doing that shit, bro. Where they was like, like Chicago 2022, and it was like flying cars. Niggas had on fucking space boosters and shit like that, and I'm like, nigga, that is not Chicago at all, sir. Chicago
Yeah.
still got Chevys. That shit
Oh
is not.
man.
That shit ain't what you
Hey,
think it is, bro. But nah, I mean, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that one though. That's interesting. That shit was on Max, so I'm gonna check that out. I remember it. I want to say I rented that motherfucker, man.
I never watched it. I never watched the newer version of RoboCop.
Yeah,
But But no, though. I mean, but at the end of the day, man, I think they did a good job with
Mm-hmm.
this movie because
Mm-hmm.
the third one was so bad. I think that anything would have been
Yeah.
better than that.
Yeah.
But I do think they did a good job. I'm glad they brought Joseph Gordon-Levitt into it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's been on a quiet run.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on a quiet run. He been doing some good stuff. And I think they did pretty well with the story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Fire Flames, man. What are you giving this production?
Well, if we're talking about Axel F, um, obviously, I mean, the cast is what it is. They have some good new additions.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Jane and I don't even remember what Kevin Bacon's name even was. But so I think they made some good additions. I would have made a few tweaks here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but I would give this movie I would give it a 3.5.
Damn. Okay.
Um
Okay.
yeah, because I mean if in my personal opinion, like two is getting a five
Oh, absolutely.
and one is getting probably I'll give it like a 4.5.
I would
So
give one a
if
four. I would give one a four.
I will go. I will go up with just a little bit more. But so if I'm rating from that type of system, that's why it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving this one a 3.5.
Okay. Okay. Um. So having rewatched or having watched the original three, and then watching this one, like I said, my biggest takeaway from those to this was how they were going to do the whole buddy cop thing, and especially nowadays with a lot of films trying to be like more dramatic and more serious, I think it was a little bit tougher to do. I think they still pulled it off. They had a lot of funny moments in there. They had a lot of moments where you kind of seen uh Axel and Joseph and Abbott, you seen them kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of get in the groove with one another, kind of, you know what I'm saying, team up and get cool. I thought that was very important for them to be able to do that, and they pulled it off. It wasn't a bad film. I enjoyed it. I laughed. I thought it was good. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna go four, man. I'm gonna go four.
Okay.
I feel like it was good enough for a four for sure, man. The story was good. His daughter did a good job. I forgot what that guy's name is, man, but I want to say his name is Luis Guzman, but he plays Chileno.
Oh yeah.
Man, hey, bro. I don't know. Anything he's in where he doing comedy, he's always funny as fuck to me. Like
Yeah.
this nigga is supposed to be the head of a fucking gang.
Cartel.
Nah, not the cartel. He's just the head of a gang because there was like a biker gang or some shit like that. Owning a strip club, nobody in there is stripping. They all in there chilling. They had one big stripper. She was back there smacking the dude that she was supposed to be stripping for, and this nigga is in the chair doing karaoke. Brilliant, bro. Brilliant, bro. That nigga said, man, he says, man, spaces like this is like Buffalo Wild Wings to me. He walked in, that nigga said, this ain't nothing like Buffalo Wild Wings. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was a great addition to it as well, man. So yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I got a lot of laughs out of this.
Okay.
Yeah, man. All right, man. So coming soon on the next episode that we give you guys, it will be Deliverance. If you guys haven't seen Deliverance, it is on Netflix. I think it
Yeah.
is. Is Netflix? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it is a thriller. It is a what like a horror, religious horror or something like that. Just get on Netflix and search Deliverance. Watch it for yourself. I know everybody was talking about one scene with Glenn Close. Um, yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
interesting film.
Very.
Very interesting film. We will be covering Deliverance in the next episode, so make sure you guys watch it. If you haven't watched it, get to it. And if you have watched it, rewatch it, and then come back and join us as we talk about what we think of this film. Um, Also, thank you guys for sticking with us through everything that's been going on. I know we haven't been on the proper schedule and stuff like that, but we getting it slowly and slowly together. Everything is coming along as far as me getting into the house and moving and all that stuff. We finally got everything in place that we need to get in place, so the schedule should be back picked up. Excuse me, next week. Um, Once again, make sure you go follow our socials. Uh, as we said in the beginning, they're also in the description of the pod. If you would like to follow me, you can follow me on X or Twitter at Scoots Bronson. I have a link tree in my bio, and you can follow me everywhere else there.
And y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram, X, and TikTok. They talk about it's supposed to be banned in January. We will see.
That's interesting.
Um, Also, follow the podcast 28 Minutes or Less. I got a new episode out in the world. I mentioned it earlier. It's episode 159. It's History of Horror Part 3, where I kind of, what I'm saying, give my observation on horror movies and, today, and also spoke about the Maxine movie and the whole series with X and Pearl and all that type shit.
Mhm.
So go check that out on all major platforms. That's all I got.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. As always, your support is greatly appreciated. Without you, there could be no us. And until the next time, like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.